Hey everyone, welcome back to this channel. In this video, I'm going to show you the new product from Keysight. It's called PROPSIM. So it's propagation simulator. It's actually do more than just simulations. It's actually emulate the conditions that you can see in real life, such as delay, fading, shadowing, and all sorts of propagations that you can think of. He's able to take in the input signal and add in all these effects and then come out on the other ports to your receiver. So just a quick one, because I only have a limited time with this route. I hope that I can walk through some of the important stuff and show you how to do a quick setup and also the effect that it contributes to your measurements. So in the event where you need to have to emulate out the real life conditions, this is a good box to have. And this is my current setup. As you can see here, PROPSIM FS16. So we have a full-fledged channel here, and I'm using channel 2 TRX as the input from Fieldfox. So the Fieldfox on the left is used to generate a signal input, and the Fieldfox on the right is used to analyze that signal that's coming through the PROPSIM. This is my current setup, input from Fieldfox 1, output to Fieldfox 2, just to monitor the effect that has been added by PROPSIM. So as you can see on the screen, I have two Fieldfox's remote desktop view. The Fieldfox on the left will be the signal generator. So what I'm doing here, I'm sweeping from 400 to 550. So my center frequency is 450. There's nothing here you can't see anything on the screen on the left Fieldfox because there's no loopback. And this is how it looks like on the other side of the Fieldfox. I'm doing the source tracking, which is sweep from 400 to 500. Stop. Oh, it's actually reverse. Let's try that. 400 max, stop to 500 max, span 100, which is correct. Same thing, just reverse. So the input is done. So this is output. I'm using the RTSA, the real-time spectral analyzer, because if I change to the spectral analysis mode, this is what we're going to see. And if you're interested to see that in more detail, how do I set it up, I can walk through with you right now fairly quickly. So we set the center frequency to 450 meg. And then we set the span 100 meg, which is correct. And let's change the sweep time to 1 first. Then you're going to see what I mean by that. It's actually hit and miss because both of these Fieldfoxes are not synchronized. I didn't set up the synchronizations. So instead of using spectral analysis mode with the trace 2 as a max hold, just want to look at what's going on here. I will just go with the sweep acquisitions. I change that to a higher value so that my sweep time is higher than the sweep time over here, and hopefully the hit and miss time will be good enough to show you the whole chunks of data. Again, it doesn't really show much useful information over here. So instead of using spectral analysis mode, I go to real-time spectral analyzer. So by default, real-time spectral analysis has faster sweep time. So as you can see here, I set it to 200 milliseconds. So by default, set it to auto, is hit and miss. For 20 milliseconds, I might hit some of this part and hit and miss again. I would set it to 200 milliseconds, which is just right, somewhere there. What I'm trying to show you here, you can actually change the acquisition time to see the whole signal sweeping. So just bear in mind, the signal here on Fieldfox 1 is doing the sweeping. So it depends on your start and stop frequency, and it will just sweep across it. Power set to 0. So some emulation is running. Let's turn that off, close it. Yeah, let's close it. So there's no emulation running right now. My input at 0 dBm, my output at minus 52. Marker. So we can do a peak. So it's minus 53.8 dBm. So there's a big attenuations when it's going in and out from the PROPSIM box. So this is my baseline. So this is the interface for PROPSIM, easy access. You can just download and get the license from Keysight folks, but you have to pay for it. So I'm going to go through with you interface, how it looks like. So by default, when you start up the software or the hardware and gets into the software, this is how it looks like. So we have a home button here, a setup save button here, and we have data view. Local mode is when you send a skippy command remotely for automations, it will change to blue. It means that it's in remote. Somebody is trying to access this PROPSIM remotely. So expand this part. So emulations is where you're going to set up what your emulation will look like, what other things that you want to add into the emulation, delay, shadowing, all sorts of things, propagations terms. Then lab setup is where you're going to define the template on how you want the hardware to be connected. So alignment is like calibrations. You can do it every 3 months after it's being factory calibrated. So it's just making sure the output port of the PROPSIM is calibrated up to the port in front of the machine. Standard emulations, if you have the options, when you click this, it will show up here. And this is just a help file. It will tell you more on what is the standard emulations that comes along with it. For example, I'm looking at Tetra Bed Urban Setup 2 tabs, page 82. So we can go all the way to page 82 and it will tell you what this is all about. Page 82. So for example, Tetra static, 1 tab number, 0 delay, 0 amplitude change, constant. So these are the setup that will show you how many tabs it has in the channel emulations. So there are a lot of terms that I'm still trying to get about in this PROPSIM. So just bear with me, and Helioterrain, it will explain to you more. So as easy as that, just go to standard emulations, and click on that. It will tell you all the emulations that comes along with it and what it does, so that you can see whether is that what you want. Test scenario pack I didn't get installed in this machine. When the time comes, I will create another video just to talk about that. Channel modeling tool. So we have 2 types. One is GCM. So GCM stands for geometry-based stochastic channel modeling. So previous version they call it GSCM. It's the same thing. So you can read through what GCM will do, will help you with your modeling. And this is a help file. So again, GCM is more versatile. You can actually drag and drop the points. I might not be able to cover in this video. Just look for the next video. I'm going to split this whole walkthrough into different parts so that you can focus on whichever parts that you want to look at. So GCM, geometry-based stochastic channel modeling. And then we have TDL, tab delay line. So again, you can read through the user guide. What is it all about? And I'm going to cover that in the next video. So utilities, we have legacy utilities that comes along with the first generation of PROPSIM, and you can actually use this, or you can use this to create the modeling as you need. And then we have log file. So this is very critical. Apparently, if you see any errors, this is a good place to look at what's going on. And then if you need help from Keysight Care folks, this is where you're going to capture the log file and share it with them so that they know what's going on with your machine. Then we talk about configurations. We have device informations. It will tell you the firmware version and the model that you're having, and calibrations, when is it, and channel bandwidth, so things like that. Then we talk about device configuration. This is where if you need a frequency conversions, where like when you want to test a repeater for a two-way radio, the input and output frequency is different. So this way you can select that. And then you can also select this measuring data. So if you want all the data being recorded, this way you're going to do it. So this is pretty much like the setup config or options or property for this software. And this time synchronized, where if you have an important time synchronizations test between your transmitter, your receiver, and this modeling, you can actually do this to synchronize between the 3 things. Then import license, when you get this instrument, if by any chance that the license is not installed, this is where you install the license. So it's configurations, import license. System backup and restore is like computer backup and restore. I won't cover that today because I'm not going to do that. It will take up some time. So let's go to Windows system right now. Windows system. So this is another way to access to the Windows setup, because I'm not sure whether you can see it here. The software will take up the whole view of your computer. There's no way that you can pop up the taskbar because there's no window button here, unless, so as you can see here on type VNC. So I actually can to set window buttons and then turn up the taskbar. But for whatever reason that you don't have a keyboard connect, you can actually access to all these Windows features like File Manager, Control Panel, Command Prompt, Notepad, power eject devices, especially when you have a USB, or restart shutdown from here. So the last one is help file. So this is where you can send out your support ID or software support to the Keysight Care folks. Check for updates is to check for the versions that has been released in keysight.com for the firmware that's running on the PROPSIM. So user reference, it's the ultimate guide for the whole PROPSIM. So you can read through everything here. It's actually thicker than Note 150, and good luck with that. So then application notes will tell you how to run, how to set up most of the things that you might need. Like for example, runtime emulations will tell you what it's all about, how to create it. So will tell you more in more detail, things that I might not be able to cover here today in this video. And the last one is the PROPSIM. So normally this is how you tell the version, not just here, you can actually do it over here, device information. So that's it, a simple walkthrough on the software that comes along with the PROPSIM hardware. So the subsequent video, I'm going to cover some of the features that I understand how to use, and then we're going to see the effect on the Fieldfox. The reason why I'm bringing out the Fieldfox in this video, so that you know I do have a Fieldfox transmitting signal, and PROPSIM is in the middle, and this is a receiver. So that you can see how the effects contribute to your signal at the end. Okay, thanks for your time. Thanks for watching.